Alright, YouTube family, this is Eric, aka the Joyful Pyro. I have a 2000 GMC Sierra that I just completed the replacing the AC. I had to fix it. It hasn't ran in a while, and so I just wanted to actually show some tips that I wish I had known when I got started, but through trial and error I actually found a few things out to make life a little bit easier when your compressor is actually here at the bottom of your motor. And I know on some newer vehicles they're at the top. Okay, so take off the air box here. I know that's it escapes me right now. I can't remember the exact name. Take that off. Of course, unplug the mass airflow sensor wire and disconnected the dryer. I also replaced it as well. So let's go underneath here. I took off the passenger side front wheel, and then also took off the plastic cowling, which you see over here. And you can buy those plastic rivets from AutoZone or any other parts store if you break them, or when you break them, should I say. So I took off the cowling, took off the wheel, took off the cowling, and then that allowed me to get to everything here. Now this bolt here and this bolt here will actually, because it's 4 bolts for this compressor, this bolt here, which is a 15 mil, all of them are 15 mil, will take off your lines that go to your for the dryer. And if I'm using the wrong name, please excuse me. I am not a mechanic. I'm just a guy that is trying to fix my truck that has 456,000 miles on it and had no AC. All right, so, and then there's 2 bolts which are right down in there. So there's one there, and then there's one there. You're going to need a swivel head, and then also what you want to use is a 15 mil ratchet. I bought these, I think, from Harbor Freight. So you want to use your 15 mil with the ratcheting head, and because it's tight in there, you won't be able to get a socket in there for this bolt right there. You will not be able to get a socket in there. And so I just ratcheted off from underneath the vehicle, and you won't be able to pull it out, so you kind of have to leave it in, and then you'll angle out the compressor itself. Also use a swivel head with an extension on the compressor itself to get on this bolt to get the compressor out itself. Give me a second, let me get underneath, and I'll show you what I wish I had known, because I changed out the belt also. I put a new belt on the compressor as well, and that right there, because I didn't know an easier way, was very, very tough. But let me get underneath and I'll show you what I did. Alright everyone, so now we're underneath the vehicle. Let me shine a little light just in case. Yes, there's a lot of crud. I also have a power steering pump leak, and it has produced a lot of crud underneath here. So that's my next job as I continue to restore my 2000 GMC Sierra. Alright, so right there where my light is shining, let me see if I can angle this just right. Right there, that is your tensioner pulley for the belt that goes to your compressor. You can see the clutch to the compressor right here, and on the back side of that is the belt. But you can see right here, this is the actual belt that goes to the compressor. This is your serpentine belt. So you'll need to take off your serpentine belt also, and that's up top. Up top, I believe that is a 13 mil. I'll show you that in a second. But here's what I want to say that helps you out tremendously. Just go ahead and take off that tensioner pulley. It's 2 bolts right here. This one, and there's one right here on the other side of it. Just take off those 2 bolts. You have your serpentine belt off. Slide your clutch side in belt on first, and then go ahead and slide your I want to call it the crankshaft, but I may that may be the wrong name. But then you slide the other end. We'll say that you slide the other end of your belt on onto the motor side. And then once you've done that, you go ahead, put your tensioner pulley back on, and then you can slide the belt on top of this smooth tensioner pulley. That right there would have saved me a lot of time had I thought of it earlier, or if someone had told me, or if I had seen a video. I did look at some videos, but I don't remember any of them actually telling me to take off the tensioner pulley. So taking that tensioner pulley off, you can replace that belt a little bit easier for the compressor. All right, let's go back up top real quick. All right, you may not be able to see it because I put things back together. All right, so we'll kind of look at it from this side. Okay, that's the other tensioner pulley right there for your serpentine belt. That one there takes a 13 mil socket, and actually I put the rest of the belt on and I slide this end on last. And I think that's about it. The main thing I wanted to tell everyone is this was my first time replacing the compressor on this truck. The biggest thing for me, I did see a video where the guy did say take off the wheel well plastic, and I just went ahead and took off this the wheel itself. Gave me more room to work. Getting underneath when it comes to putting that belt on, it's a lot easier if you go ahead and take off that tensioner pulley down there at the bottom. And it also let me discover another trick that I can get to my spark plugs a whole lot easier as well. But that's pretty much it. And you'll also need some extensions and swivel heads. And one thing also, the last thing is, do not forget to get a ratcheting wrench. And it's going to be 15 mil. That will save you a lot of heartache and pain, because that one bolt down there, it's 1/4 of a turn at a time if you can get that. It takes a little while to get that one out. And a tip to putting it back in: put the bolt in and then put the compressor, then put it in. And that way, because once you put it in, you can't get that bolt in because it'll hit the frame. It may be easier on other vehicles, but this is a 4-wheel drive GMC Sierra, so there's a lot going on up here. I think that's it. Just wanted to tell you guys that. Hey, have a great rest of your day and week.